Okay, renewables. We've been, hearing the speakers on wind power and hydro. There is a lot of wind resources, as Dave showed you on the map. Northern New England had that very class 5, 6, 7, the highest density, if you will, of good wind resources. Tends to be up along the Canadian border in the White Mountains, northern Maine, and Green Mountains in Vermont. There are several wind farms right now in northern New Hampshire. One which has just gotten state approval within the last several months that are moving along. We have a project called the Northern Loop, which is a loop around Berlin, New Hampshire, that would be required to reinforce the transmission grid in that area to bring that wind power into the market into southern New England. But we're looking with Hydro-Quebec, which we had worked with decades ago and actually established a agreement with Hydro-Quebec probably when Bob was just starting out there back in the early 80s, but we worked with Hydro-Quebec to build a DC line into New Hampshire, and we right now are importing about 1,000 megawatts of hydropower from Canada and have been for years. But we're looking at another line from southern Quebec down into central or southern New Hampshire, partnering with Hydro-Quebec, NSTAR from Boston, and Northeast Utilities, a three-part partnership to build another DC line and bring another 1,200 megawatts of clean hydropower into New England over the next several years. We're just at the conceptual stage. We're looking for the route. FERC just gave their approval to the concept, and we'll see how this develops. But we think there are some really good resources to the north, hydropower and wind power, and we're trying to bring those resources to market. When you build the large wind farms, as David said, you need to reinforce that transmission or have a very strong and robust transmission system to bring that power from where it's produced into where it's consumed. Next slide. Don't want to leave out our distribution system. We've been spending $300 to $500 million a year over the last 6 or 7 years on our distribution system in New England and New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. CL&P alone has almost 17,000 miles of overhead primary distribution system, almost 6,000 miles of underground primary lines, 235 substations, over 250,000 distribution transformers, over 700,000 poles. And the key thing here is that this infrastructure ages, and Bob was talking about the hydro needing rehabbing. Well, we've been replacing some of this aging infrastructure, but it will require larger and larger investments as we go out in time. We've been making those investments, but it'll be a significant effort for the company. Next. Don't want to leave out energy efficiency. I know we've heard this said that the Energy Efficiency Fund kind of got depleted last year. We've seen a couple of problems over this decade where when there was a budget crisis in the prior administration, the decision was made to take the funds and use it as a stopgap measure to help solve the budget problem. That was thought about this time around in the budget phase this past winter, but it got fortunately tabled and it was off the radar screen. But it seems like this fund, which has been really, really effective, we think. We actually started in the early 80s promoting and getting into energy efficiency programs, CL&P did. So we've been at it for a long time now, but we've seen this very spiky process where, whether it's an economic downturn as happened last year, a lot of people rushed into the market to try to get this funds, and they oversubscribed the market. The renewables, I think there was up to 50% subsidy on solar photovoltaics, and that got oversubscribed. So it is our hope as a utility that there could be ways thought through either the legislature or the DPUC to try to either increase this fund, increase the amount of money available, maybe from some of the, I know some of the federal stimulus money is going into energy conservation and energy efficiency. So maybe there's promise as we look down the road that we won't see these funds depleted, and we'll continue to see the state be a leader in the area of energy efficiency. But this is that third leg of the stool. Generation is very important to have, whether it's wind, solar, hydro, or fossil. You need a very strong transmission and distribution system to bring that power to the market, to the individual customers. And you need to really, we think, promote and make Connecticut as efficient as possible. And I think the cheapest dollar spent is on the dollar invested in the equipment to conserve energy or to make yourself more efficient. I think that's been proven. I don't know what the cost is per kW. You know, we heard these various costs from $4,500 down to $2,200 per kW. And I think if you look at it, the investment in energy efficiency is even cheaper than that. So if you can invest in energy efficiency, that return on the saved kilowatts is probably your best bet. So again, this is what the company has been looking at promoting, and I look forward to talking to some of you after the meeting ends tonight. Thank you.